All right, let's do it. Hello, craft beer friends, and welcome to. Hold on, let me sure I'm recording here. I got all the recording. I got 3 recordings. Okay, let's start over again here. Hello, craft beer friends, and welcome to season 10, episode 2 of Tap to Craft podcast. I am Denny Lewis, coming to you from Boise, Idaho, and my partner in craft and the dog whisperer from. I totally messed this up. I'm starting over again. Take 3. It's going to be one of those shows. Hello, craft beer friends, and welcome to season 10, episode 2 of Tap to Craft podcast. I am Denny Luce, coming to you from Boise, Idaho, and my partner in craft, the dog whisperer, and my favorite Florida man from Tampa, Florida, Mr. Chris McKenzie. How are you doing tonight? And of course, what is in your glass?
Well, I'm glad you got that all out. It only, third time's a charm, as people usually say. But it seems like you and I get on here and we both go, man, I'm just tired.
I'm tired. I'm tired.
I'm a little tired. But in my glass today, out of my Tap the Craft pint glass here, I'm drinking a beer from Leaven Brewing right here in the Tampa area called Smooth Criminal. It is their I'm going to cheat. Hang on. It is their 10.5% ABV. And guess what? They have a green can, if you can't tell.
It's a strong ale. It looks like a dark strong ale. It kind of has got dark color, doesn't it?
So it's kind of a dark copper.
Color. Yeah, copper red. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dark copper. But 10.5%. I figured we'd kick off the show with something a little bigger. Just to kind of get the show rolling, having some fun with it.
Wow, you're rolling. You're rolling.
Well, we've got to. And then the rest of them that I have, I think another one's 5 and another one's like 4.9. So I'll start like this and just work our way down nice and slow.
That's the way we do it.
So what about you, Denny? What's in your glass? How are you doing today?
So I am doing great. I am tired, but it's okay because whenever I get on the show with you, I wake up and we have a great conversation and great time. So I'm looking forward to waking up and enjoying our conversation. But my day went good. I was off last week on vacation. I did some camping. We went up north, Idaho, to the Lolo Pass trail area off the Lochsaw River. My favorite place to be in Idaho. I just love that area. And Sarah and I had 4 days, 3 nights there, doing some hiking, some not really hiking. We just kind of did some walking. We walked about 8 miles a day. Just had a great time. Beautiful weather. It was a little bit hot. It wasn't the 90s. There was some fires going on around us, but that area we were in was pretty clear all the way until the day we left, and then the smoke started coming in when we left, which is a good timing. But beautiful place. It's 6 hours drive north of Boise, so it's up there, not all the way at the tip, but almost at the tip of the panhandle.
Just the tip.
Yeah, but we were driving back home, and from that trip, and Sarah's like, you know what? I can't wait to come back. I said, well, we're not coming back again this year. Well, maybe next year. We'll see, because there's other trips up there. I love going at the very farthest north is Priest Lake, which we love that place too. It's beautiful. It's right on the Canadian border, and it borders actually, Canada and Washington on two corners there. We want to go there, and so we might have to, I don't know, we might go up there and do like a longer trip and do like a couple spots. Priest Lake for a couple days. Go to the Selway area. It's on the other side of that peak, and then come back down and maybe stay a couple nights at the Lochsaw River as well, and then come back down. Maybe we'll do that. That sounds like fun. But yeah, sidetracked. But I'm doing good because I had a very restful time, and when I spend time in the woods, drinking, and I didn't drink that much beer either. I thought I brought not enough beer. I only brought 2 6-packs, and I thought, well, I'll have to ration my beers. But you know what? I brought 2 beers back with me because I was having fun, and I was enjoying the beers throughout the day. and I just didn't want to overdo it. I didn't feel like I needed to drink a lot. I ended up drinking water and stuff instead, and enjoying 3 beers a day, which is not too bad. But I'm drinking Moose Drool Brown Ale, the classic from Big Sky Brewing, 5%. This is under half of what you're drinking. That's what I'm drinking right now. This beer is almost gone. Lovely brown ale. Look at that nice brown color. It's a classic. Anyone that's been around craft beer for a while, and if you've been on the west side of the country, you've probably experienced Moose Drool because the brewery's been around since the late 80s. And Moose Drool has been one of those beers I've been drinking since the mid 90s, so a long time. Okay, well, hey, that's what's in our glass. That's how we're doing. Let's get this show started. But before we get too far into the show, we always want to let anyone new listening to the show know what Tap to Craft podcast is all about. We are an educational podcast focused around celebrating all things craft beer because we want to assist you, our listener, along in your craft beer journeys and adventures. And you're listening to episode 236, recording on Monday, August 7th, 2023. And we are live on Facebook. And if you would like to join us during our recording session sometime, you can do that easily. Look for our post on the Monday prior to release. So we release on a Thursday. The Monday before that release, we record. And look for the message around 8:30 Eastern time and join us while we record. And
in this episode, saved my life today. Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, I understand. In this episode, we're going to talk about our favorite breweries, beginning with the letter N. N is in Nancy or Needy or
November.
Never. November. Yeah, all those N words.
How's the beer?
As well as you can count on us having some great beer conversation as well. And Chris and I would like to thank all of our Patreon supporters because this episode is brought to you in part by our satisfied Patreon supporters like Mike Allen, Bill Schlemmer, Amanda and Kevin Argauer, Mike Blanchard, Tara Carlson, and Jim Kutzel and Alex Fuchs, who are our virtual producers. And Tom Byrne, Jeff Seiler, Johan Halberg, Chad Massa, Mark Church, and Eric Gronley, who want to buy us a virtual beer. And if you enjoy the content we provide, we invite you to support the show by toasting your host or buying us a virtual beer or even becoming a virtual producer. You can explore the options on our support page by visiting patreon.com/tapthecraft. All right, well, talking about Patreon supporters, 2 episodes ago, we gave away our first 10tacker.com tacker giveaway, 2 tackers in 1 giveaway. Yeah. And we gave that away to Mark Reedy. Well, it turns out Mark Reedy is not responding to our messages. And when I looked it up, I guess Mark Reedy kind of dropped out of our Patreon back in April, which is too bad. So guess what? We have a new winner of our first 10tacker.com giveaway. And Chris, who is our lucky Patreon supporter winner this time?
It's Mark Church is our winner of our first 10tacker.com giveaway.
Excellent. Oh. Excellent.
I'll tag him in this one.
Yeah. Mark, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're listening. I hope you respond back and provide us your address so that we can send it to Jen over at 10tackers.com and she can send you your contest. She just messaged us today saying, hey, did I miss the email with the giveaway address? And nope, sorry, Jen, we didn't send it because we're
waiting.
We're still waiting. But congratulations, Mark. I hope you enjoy your 10 tackers. And guess what, Chris, we have smell. You got that email, right?
I haven't opened it yet.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Listen, I told you, just tell the world I'm a slacker. It's in there. So while you're sitting here chastising me and calling me names, I'm pulling it up. And then I'm also going to open Zoom so I can share. Where?
Okay. You're going to share. Okay. So we got a voicemail, and if you want to leave us a voicemail, just like our good friend Buck Buchanan, who we're going to hear from just in a minute, you can do that by calling 208-536-3359. Or if you don't like a lot of numbers, I have a hard time keeping numbers straight too. You can call 208-53 oddly. Leave us your voicemail just like Buck is doing, and you can be famous too.
Just like this.
What's up, guys? Buck, Oklahoma City, Core 4 Brewing. Just checking in. Haven't called in a while. Thought I would make your dreams come true and leave you a voicemail on the show. I don't need a 10-tacker. I've got plenty of them. Speaking of, big thanks to you guys for grabbing a Core 4 10-tacker and continually talking about us and supporting us, man. I can't thank you guys enough. I truly, truly do appreciate it. Thanks for all you guys do for the craft beer industry in general. About the crowler situation, yeah, I agree. I think that it probably wasn't sealed properly, but also, like, especially a big beer like a quad IPA, it happens a lot in fruit beers. If they get hot and they didn't get all the yeast out of there, it'll start re-fermenting and it'll create CO2 within that can, and that can cause cans to explode. So I see it a lot in fruit beers if they get hot on the shelf, if they're not cold transferred. I'm not saying that's what caused this one. I think you're right. It was a sealing issue, but that's also an issue that we see is they'll start re-fermenting if there was any yeast residual left, and especially a big sweet beer like a double or quad or a fruit beer. Anyway, Core 4 is doing great. We're almost 3.5 years in now. Got our big festival on Friday, our fourth Friday. We do it every month through the summer on fourth Friday, live music. We do outdoor vendors. We block off the street, have a big block party. So looking forward to that. It's going to be a good time. Anyways, I appreciate what you guys are doing. Keep up the good work, and we'll talk soon. Cheers.
Oh, excellent. Thank you, Buck, for your voicemail. We do love hearing from you, and I'm glad Core 4 Brewing is doing well, made it through the pandemic. I pay attention to all your posts, and it seems like you guys have fun game nights not Friday, though. Is it Friday? Every Friday, I think you have.
Isn't that what he just said? Fourth Friday?
They're the fourth Friday, but they have board game nights. Thursday or Friday night, and I see the postings all the time, and I'm just like, I like that. I like the fact that they have things like that and people participate in, and that fourth Friday, whatever powwow, sounds like fun too. I wish I could go and participate one day when I make it to Oklahoma City. I will be there. Now, Buck, I do listen to other podcasts as well, and I heard on Beervana that Jeff Allworth, was in Oklahoma City visiting breweries there. The homebrew club, I guess, invited him or paid for him to come speak, and he went to some breweries. Let us know if he came and visited Core 4 and how that went. He didn't mention it, mention it on his show, but maybe he did on his blog post I didn't read yet. But yeah, it'd be kind of cool if you had anything insight on how that went. If he found your brewery in Oklahoma City, I know that we've talked to you on the show about all the changes that have occurred over the years for Oklahoma and craft beer, and making it more available for brewers to brew and for customers to drink beer in Oklahoma. So that'd be cool. Okay. Let's go ahead and continue this conversation, Chris, because I know you want to have our Untapped the Craft segment and see what our listeners are drinking according to Untapped.
And for that, I am absolutely ready.
So, good.
Yeah, listen, I only dropped the ball twice. Third time's a charm for us on the show tonight. You hit record, you mess up what you're saying. I'm ready for the third part of what I'm supposed to be ready for. And we're going to start it off with Mr. Bill Schlemmer, who, by the way, commented on our Facebook live video that he said, being from Wisconsin most of the year, my favorite N brewery has to be New Glarus.
Yes.
And guess what, Bill? That one made my list too. especially after this past week.
Yeah, you probably drink a few.
I had a few. Yeah. So Bill's first check-in is going to be a number 4551 Black Lager by Hoops Brewing. It looks like he's having this at the brewery as well. He said, spot on Black Lager. Great balance between malt, hop, bitterness, and a touch of sweetness to offset the hop. The hops. 4 1/4 caps for that check-in.
Nice.
He also checked into the number 300 Best Brown by Hoops Brewing as well. Great English brown ale. Delicious. 4 1/4 caps for that one. Brian G is drinking a Platmosphere by Platt Park Brewing Company at Meow Wolf's Convergence Station. Now, Brian, is that Meow Wolf in Las Vegas? Oh, Denver, Colorado. Okay. Apparently a cool place to check out in Las Vegas called Meow Wolf. You look it up. I'm not going to try to explain it, but we tried to go the last time I was there. He said, this place is trippy. Yeah, sounds like the place in Vegas too. 4 cap rating to go along with that one. He's also checking into the Hoptimus Rogue Honey Kolsch. He's also checking into a Hoptimus IPA by Briar Common Brewery and Eatery. He said it's a cool place and nice West Coast style IPA. 4 cap rating for that one. And then moving on up to, somebody's just a bit of a brown noser here. Jeff Seiler is drinking a Moose Drool Brown Ale by Big Sky Brewing Company.
Look at that. He's right on.
And this was like 3 hours ago.
3 hours ago. He knew what I was drinking on the show 3 hours ago. So wow.
Did you talk to him? Are you guys in collusion? What's going on here?
I think that's awesome.
You know what?
Supporting me with my Moose Drool.
It made it all the way down to North Carolina. Just come on a couple states south and we're there, unless he got that shipped in. Anyway, he said such a nice, light and tasty brown ale, malty and mildly sweet, a classic craft beer with a perfect name. 4 cap rating on that beer. Love that beer. Anytime I head out west, I get that anytime I can. And just like everything else, Denny, it's showing up in cans.
Yeah, it's in cans.
I mean, it's going to make it a little easier to get it home. Actually, when I was in the airport in Milwaukee, they had this eatery, and that's where I had my last glass of Spotted Cow. And they were like, well, we'll sell you a 12-pack of Spotted Cow if you're already in the airport here. You can take it on the plane. It was
in cans?
Yeah. It was $28, but
for 12 beers?
I considered it. I really did. I was like, I don't have to check a bag. Like, I'm not worried about it being too heavy. Maybe I'll do it. No, I didn't.
Yeah. So. You come walking on the plane and you open the overhead and you stick your 24-pack up there.
Tossing beers to people. You look like you're pretty cool. You want to be my friend? Come on, here's a beer. Yeah, they don't let you drink them on the plane. So, Matt Knight is drinking a Space Donkey by Tampa Bay Brewing Company.
Oh, nice.
Burrito and a beer. This is a win-win combo. Thanks for the beers, Chris M. That would be me. So Matt, this is kind of like you guys eating at Taco Bus while you were down here in the Tampa area. But he gave this a 4 1/4 cap rating on this beer. This is one of their IPAs that they have. I got to try it this year for the first time as well, and I really enjoyed it too. So glad you enjoyed that one, sir. Chad Lamassa is, gotta say this funny. He's drinking a Smoochy Boochies by Wet City Brewing. And he said, as a huge Kevin Smith fan, I wasn't going to pass on this extremely dank, creamy mouthfeel. Snoogans. 4.5 cap rating for that one. From Mr. Chad Lamassa. David Martin is drinking a generous characterization of those you remember otherwise. Now, Denny, with a name like that, who brewed that beer? I'll tell you this. Kevin Page drinks from this brewery a lot.
Burial?
A generous characterization of those you remember otherwise. Is that an acronym for something? No, it's not.
I don't know. It's a long name. I forget that Burial does like long names.
Yeah, a sweet and slightly bitter stout. It's well balanced. 4.5 cap rating from David Martin. Jeff Seiler again, drinking a Lord of Lightning by Magnanimous Brewing Company. Another excellent hazy double IPA from Magnanimous. Citra, Mosaic, Galaxy, and Vic's Secret hops. So yeah, delicious. 4 1/4 caps for that check-in. Tara Carlson. Ooh, this is a good one. She's drinking a Julius by Treehouse Brewing Company.
Nice.
And she said, I need both a beer and hot chocolate to weather the... Oh, I believe that's supposed to be the fantasy suite episode of The Bachelorette.
Well, I don't think a hoppy IPA and well, it's not really.
Oh yeah, it is. Julius is like a double IPA, I think.
Double IPA and hot chocolate go, and they don't really go together.
Only one way to find out.
But try
yeah,
it.
It's a regular IPA. But yeah, and she even gave us a screenshot of the show that she's watching. Yeah, you're probably paying more attention to The Bachelorette than you are to us.
Yeah, they're not on. I don't think, are they?
I don't believe so. But it also looks like you guys are getting some fun weather down there too. I see the little screenshot of the radar in your picture there. Good luck with the storms going through there, because I hear they're going to be a little nasty. Bill Schlemmer is drinking a Places I've Been by Toppling Goliath. He said, this one threw me off because I read it in my head first. He said, back in Spread Eagle at the lake. This
whoa.
Yeah. Sounds like a good time at the lake. That's all I'm saying. This beer tastes great after a 225-mile drive from Duluth, Minnesota. Mild malt flavors and a nicely balanced citrus notes. Awesome. 4 3/4 caps for that beer. I mean, you want to go to a place called Spread Eagle. It's sounds like a good time.
I thought he was Spread Eagle in the lake.
Something, if I remember correctly, I want to say that there's an area near him called Spread Eagle.
Okay.
I mean, Bill, back me up, but you might have to explain yourself. You know what you should do, Bill? You should call 208-536-53 oddly. Yeah. Listen, I'm having a hard time just operating today, let alone remembering numbers.
Yeah.
536-3359.
Yeah, that's it.
Good job on the brain there, Christopher. All right. And last one before I hit refresh, Matt Knight is drinking a Haunted House by Allagash Brewing Company.
Oh, I've had that beer.
Yeah. A hoppy porter. Yes. Starts nice and malty with a good balance of hops. Finishes with a nice roastiness. So much going on. It's so good. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous, Denny L.
I'm not, because I had it.
He's not, because I sent him one like a year ago. So
I think, Chris, you're jealous because you sent me one and you didn't have it, right?
No, I did. I actually
have it. Okay.
Yeah, so I had it while I was at Gasparilla, and I was like, Denny would love this.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hit refresh and see if anybody else checked into anything. Okay, wow, so there's one. Matt's. Craig Andrew. Oh, buddy. Can't believe you checked into this one. Dos Equis Lager Especial. But where are you drinking? At Carmelitas? Are you in freaking Mexico right now or something? Or is that no, that's in Dunedin, Florida. He's just at home. That's all. 3 cap rating for the Dos Equis. Brian G, he's checking into a few places while he's in Colorado. This one, Great Divide Brewing Company, checking into their Orabelle and their S'mores Yeti. And the S'mores Yeti, he gave 4.5 cap rating to. He said, oh, delicious. And the Orabelle, he said, really nice Belgian. Glad to finally get to this place. 4 cap rating for that one.
Oh, good.
That is what everybody's drinking.
Nice. Wow. Some good beers. Some I've had, some I haven't, some I want. Always exciting to hear what our listeners are drinking and getting us putting beers on our wish list. It just happens that Jeff Seiler and I are drinking the same beer.
That's awesome, by the way.
That is awesome. Okay, well, we're flying through the show because Chris and I need to go to bed.
No, I gotta finish this.
Let's get the brew buzz going. And the brew buzz is devoted to discussing various beer related topics. In this episode, we're going to talk about our favorite breweries, beginning with the letter N. And I'll start it off, Chris, since you just got done chatting away about our Untapped the Craft segment. I'll start with my first one.
Okay. Well, I will admit. So, Denny, I just like everything else I've been doing today, I've been slacking off. I did not get the chance to put these notes in as best as I possibly could. And I'll admit, some of my notes and your notes kind of match up. So Jeff Seiler said, "Great minds drink alike," Denny.
That's right.
Ooh, that'd be a cool T-shirt.
Great minds drink alike. Okay, well,
so keep that in mind. But like I said, a couple of ours match up. So
okay. Well, I am well over prepared because I spent yesterday putting this together, and I like to give our listeners some insight behind the scenes of my favorite breweries. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second. All the listeners out there who are listening right now, what do you think my first number one favorite in brewery is? I'll give you a moment to collect your thoughts and think of in breweries that Denny talks about all the time. Okay, well, that's enough time.
Well, no, we'll give them a hint. We've got a YouTube video on a beer from this brewery.
We got on 2 beers from this brewery.
Did we? Yeah. See?
Yeah. So, but so I have to tell them what the brewery is so they can go and find the right.
What is it, Denny? Right? What is it, Denny?
It's North Coast Brewing out of Fort Bragg, California. I've had 22 of their beers. 6 of these beers are 5 cap rated beers. Now, of course, most of those are 5 caps are Old Rasputin or variants because I love that beer. I talk about Old Rasputin all the time. In fact, I have a quick take YouTube video on Old Rasputin Russian Imperial Stout and another one on the Scrimshaw Pilsner. So if you want more information about the brewery and want to listen to me talk about the brewery and the beers, go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/tapthecraft. Yep, and just search for the videos, our quick take videos. Fun little videos. I bought actually like 5 beers to do 5 of these videos, and I only got 2 done because I just don't have time to. It's a lot of time to put these together and edit them and everything, and I just ran out of time. So I have 2. Maybe I'll get back and I'll do more. I like doing these little videos, but time is not on my side.
No, not always.
We also did some Old Rasputin tasting notes on episode 9, going way back in the Wayback Machine 9 years ago.
The Wayback Machine.
The Wayback Machine. Listen to one of our early episodes, episode 9, with John and I. This is before Chris came on the show. We talk about Old Rasputin, but then guess what? We bring Chris on, and we talk about Scrimshaw on episode 100. So you can get a little best of both of us if you want to go back to listen to old episodes where we talk more about my favorite beers from North Coast Brewing. All right, a little history of North Coast. North Coast Brewing Company opened in 1988 as a local brew pub in the historic town of Fort Bragg, located on California's Mendocino coast. Under the leadership of the original brewmaster and co-founder Mark Rudrich. You
got it.
I'm having trouble talking. The brewery has developed a strong reputation for quality, having won more than 110 awards in national and international competitions. 110. That's a lot of awards. Okay,
that's a few.
That's a few. Featuring Red Seal Ale, Old Rasputin Russian Imperial Stout, Scrimshaw Pilsner, Brother Thelonious Abbey Ale, North Coast Stellar IPA, and other fine North Coast brands, we continue our mission to, quote, make the world a better place, 1 pint at a time. These exceptional beers are available in 48 states now and are also exported to Europe and the Pacific Rim. North Coast Brewing Company is also a leader in philanthropy and sustainability. In addition to being a certified B Corp and a benefit corporation, the brewery is proud to be true Platinum Zero Waste certified. They offer 14 non-GMO project verified beers and spearhead an innovative carbon farming project to reverse its carbon footprint and advance the science of carbon sequestration in agriculture. Woo, that's a lot. All right, now for my favorite beers. All of the Old Rasputin variants. Old Rasputin, all the anniversary ales, the special ones, the ones that add adjuncts to them. Every one I've had, I've given a 5 cap rating. They're all incredible beers. Old Rasputin, anything, get it. It's worth it. Scrimshaw Pilsner, 5 cap rating. I drink a lot of this Pilsner. It's my favorite Pilsner. I can't get enough of it. If you don't like Pilsners, try it. I bet you'll like it. And then,
dare you.
Yeah. And then, as mentioned, the Brother Thelonious Belgian Dark Strong Ale, 5 cap rating. It's one of my favorites. I drink this when when it's on the shelf. I'll go grab a 4 pack, and it used to be only in big bottles, but now they have 4 packs of it. Great beer. I'm a huge fan of the Belgian Dark Strong Ale style, and this is a good one to enjoy. Okay, Chris, that's my first one. How about you? Let's go. I'm going to bounce it over to you and see what you have.
Well, my first one is one that we've kind of talked about a little bit, and it's going to kind of pair with Bill Schlemmer responding to why is it called Spread Eagle? He said, our chain of lakes is called Spread Eagle because it looks like an eagle in flight, and the area is Spread Eagle, Wisconsin. So
there we go.
I told him, I said, that sounds like my kind of place. So, but my first N brewery is going to be New Glarus Brewing out of New Glarus, Wisconsin. And I haven't had a ton of beers from them, but I've had 9 of them. A couple of them have been listener provided. A couple of them was because I was in Wisconsin this past week. But all really solid beers. I think there was one that I gave a 5 cap rating to. I didn't really dig into it too much, but it was it was like a raspberry tart one. I believe that you and I both had, Denny.
Yeah, I like that one. You didn't like that one?
No, I did. It was a 5 cap rating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But New Glarus Brewing Company wasted no time establishing itself as a world-class operation. In 1992, Daniel Carey passed the Diploma Master Brewers exam at the Institute of Brewing London. Deb Carey raised the capital for the startup as a gift to her husband, establishing herself as the first woman to found and operate a brewery in the United States. Dan and Deb Carey converted an abandoned warehouse into New Glarus Brewing Company's original Riverside Brewery, and the first barrels rolled out in November of 1993, the fastest microbrewery startup ever. Daniel and Deb successfully combined their business management and brewing professionalism with their philosophy based on individuality, cooperation, and use of 100% natural ingredients to produce world-class handcrafted beers.
Nice.
World-class. We have an episode on that too, don't we?
Yeah, world-class beer.
What makes it a world-class beer? So the only downside that I have, or the downside that I have with New Glarus is they don't distribute outside of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And that's just me being selfish. So just means I'll have to go visit there a little more.
Well, and you did. You went there and got the beer that you wanted.
And initially, I went there not realizing what beers were there. And I got there, and my buddy Mike goes, "Hey, we're going to run over to the liquor store. We'll go grab some beers and stuff." And I went, "Oh, okay." And there were like 2 doors, just 2 door coolers full of New Glarus. And I was like, I forgot that I was here. And I was like, well, I'm going to grab a 6-pack of this and a 6-pack of this. And so we got a little bit of everything I got a 6-pack of what's it called? Moon Man or Moon Raker or something like that.
It was Moon.
That's what I sent you a picture of it.
Yeah.
And then we grabbed a handful of other stuff and kind of a make your own 6-pack, but we had a few. It was nice.
So I've had 6 beers from New Glarus, and all of my ratings are pretty high. The only one I gave below a 4 cap was the Bubbler, the wheat beer. Everything else is a 4 cap or above. So
Are you
I've had
checked?
the Staghorn Oktoberfest. That was
Yep.
from Bill. The Spotted Cow from Bill. 555 Belgian triple.
I had that
That
one.
was a 4.5 cap rating there. The Belgian Red fruit beer, I gave that 4.5. The Raspberry Tart, I gave that 4. Bubbler, 3.5. And then the one that I didn't count was, remember when Sierra Nevada had that beer camp across America and they did collaborations with breweries? They did one with, they did an ordinary bitter with New Glarus. I gave that one a 4 cap rating. That was actually my very first quote New Glarus beer, but it was a collaboration, so it wasn't truly a New Glarus beer.
Okay. Well, let's see. I had the Wisconsin Belgian Red. Did you mention that one?
Yes.
Okay, so that one, Spotted Cow, of course. The Raspberry Tart.
Yeah. So we have
555.
Yeah, we've
Triple
had all. So far, 4 for 4. We've had the same.
5 for 5 will be Staghorn Oktoberfest. Moon Man.
Okay.
Moon Man is what I just had. Totally Naked, which was their I want to say it was like a lager of some sort, I remember it being like a light beachy kind of beer. So Totally Naked, and then Two Women.
Whoa!
It's called Two Women.
Wow, you were having a fun time in Wisconsin.
I was, and you should see the picture I put up. It even said, actually, I put it on our Instagram, that I got to enjoy 2 women in the grass.
I did see that picture, actually. I did see that. Not on Instagram, but I think it was on.
Well, I think I shared it
Facebook.
to our Facebook as well. But
yeah,
2 women in the grass. That's what my buddy Mike kept saying. He goes, "Good, yeah, you came to Wisconsin, you had 2 women in the front lawn." I was like, okay.
All right. Well, nice. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I didn't have enough beers from New Glarus to make it in my top list because I had other breweries that I want to talk about. But I do enjoy, like I said, most of my beers that I've had from there were over 4 cap rating, and so that's a good. That's good.
Well, before you start into that,
okay,
I'm gonna have this. Oh, damn it! Screw you, green screen. This is from Three Heads Brewing. Three Heads Brewing. This is a beer that Matt Knight brought me. This is their Sea Breeze. Actually, he checked into this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember the label because I remember that bunny.
Yeah. So we're gonna give this a shot.
Okay.
And so Matt, if you are watching or listening, I'm gonna do this one live.
All right. All right. Well, pop that open while I talk about my second in brewery. And this is a brewery that I really enjoyed early on in its beginning years because they were brewing a lot of different styles of beer, and those beers were all coming to Boise. They right away they were distributing outside of Eugene, Oregon, and they were sending 22-ounce bombers of their beers to Boise, and I was just lapping it up. Everything they were sending, I was just enjoying. Variety of lagers, malty beers, IPAs, of course, specialty beers, all kinds of stuff. And I was just like, all of them were like high rated, really good. I just love their beer. And so this brewery is Ninkasi out of Eugene, Oregon. Now, I've had 39 of their beers, and 4 of them have been 5 cap rated beers. And I have kind of reduced the amount of Ninkasi that I drink in the last 5 years or more because now they're no longer sending out all these special beers. They're sending, like, all we get in the area is their, hoppy beers. They have a sampler pack that's all hoppy IPAs and hoppy beers, and they have their, their Triceratops, all their hoppy 6-packs. And maybe Dawn of the Red is one of their beers I really enjoy. It's a double red ale, and that when that comes out around the October time frame, I'll grab a 6-pack of that and I'll drink that. But that's probably the only beer. That one and Otis Oatmeal Brown or Oatmeal Porter, I enjoy that one as well. But it's just hard to find those because all we're getting now is a lot of hoppy stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoy hoppy beers, but I get enough hoppy beers. I don't need to be drinking so much from breweries. I like to drink other stuff too.
Yeah.
So Ninkasi, again, out of Eugene, Oregon, Uh, John and I did a tasting notes segment on episode 69 of the Believer Imperial Red. So if you want to hear about John and I tasting one of their beers back again, this is probably year three or four, because it's 69, 26. Yeah, it's probably beginning of the year 3 of the show. Yeah, go back and listen to that one and see what we did. So now let me go ahead and explain, give some background of Ninkasi, how they started, and the little background history here. So it all began with a pint. Two friends share a pint at a small beer bar in Eugene, Oregon, and begin a conversation that undoubtedly involves the craft they are imbibing. Back in 2005, neither Jamie Floyd nor Nikos Ridge knew exactly where their friendship would lead, but what they did know was it would probably center around beer. Born and raised in Eugene, Nikos moved to Manhattan to begin a career in finance. Always a mistake. After 5 years, he began to pine for the West Coast lifestyles of his hometown and moved back to Eugene in 2004. Simultaneously, Jamie began to discover his love of brewing. Born in Livermore and raised in Cupertino, California, Jamie moved north to attend the University of Oregon in 1990. He brewed his first batch of homebrew in the kitchen of a campus co-op called the Lorax. The first stout propelled Jamie into an 11-year brewing career at Stillhead Brewery in Eugene. I don't think Stillhead is still around. They were there when I was in Eugene. Stillhead was the brewery in Eugene. But I'm not sure it's still in business. It might have got bought out by someone. I don't know. I left Eugene in 2002, so sorry. I don't keep up with all the. I did live in Eugene for 6 years, just in case people didn't know. I lived there from 96 to 2002. So I did experience, before Ninkasi came on board, I did experience a bunch of smaller breweries in the area. Introduced through mutual friends, the two had become buddies at a time when Jamie was ready to embark on his own. Over a pint of Jamie's beer, Nikos and Jamie discussed the potential of opening a brewery, a dream Jamie was certain to make happen. With Jamie's brewing background and Nikos' finance knowledge, the two had a winning combination to successfully open a business. After leaving the pub, Jamie eagerly waited an hour before calling Nikos with an affirmative, "This is happening." Jamie and Nikos knew that they not only wanted a brewery, but they wanted to do things a little differently. The dream, become the quote village brewer, providing a place for people to come together over a pint. Looking to brewing history, the two decided to name their brewery Ninkasi, the ancient Sumerian goddess of fermentation. After scraping together enough funds from friends and family, the two produced their first batch of beer in June of 2006. This inaugural batch of Total Domination IPA was the result of a 17-hour brew day inside a leased space in Springfield, Oregon. The following 6 months, Jamie and Nikos continued to brew on a 15-barrel brew house located within a German restaurant. Now I'm trying to think of where that German restaurant is. In 2007, Ninkasi moved to its current location in Eugene's Whitaker neighborhood. Known for its eclectic art, the two knew this neighborhood would easily foster community. Fast forward to 2011, and the hard work of both the founders landed them the fastest growing craft brewery in the United States with the top selling IPA in Oregon. Fast forward to present day, and Ninkasi ranks the 33rd largest craft brewery in the United States, according to the Brewers Association of 2020. So I have visited Ninkasi when I've gone back to Eugene, and I do enjoy their space. They do have a nice combination indoor-outdoor space, fire pits. It isn't kind of a, that area is kind of, a little bit like combination industrial with housing around it. It's kind of a weird location, but the brewery was fun. My son and I went there. We went to an Oregon Duck game, and then we went and celebrated afterwards at the brewery, and had a good time. But I do enjoy Ninkasi. Some of my favorite beers, I have a few of them. Slayer Winter Ale, which is actually a double alt ale, is one of my favorites. 5 cap rating. Whenever that comes out, I grab a 22-ounce bottle and enjoy it. I think now it's coming out in, they do release it in 12-ounce bottles and cans. Slayer is really good. Only comes out in wintertime, so find it and enjoy it. One of their one-off beers that I don't think is being, it might be at the brewery that they might have it, but it's not being sent out anymore. It's one called Renew L, and it's an ESB, 5 cap rating. So it's an extra special bitter. Really like this beer. Great flavor. Another one-off beer, The Devil Went Down to Oregon, is a rye beer. 5 cap rating. Really like that beer, but I've only had, I have a bottle here on this back wall, all my Ninkasi stuff. I had that bottle, and I think it's definitely a collector's item. The other one is a very special one-off beer, is called Ground Control Imperial Stout. I talked about this on the show. This was a beer that was made from yeast that was sent to outer space and back on Ninkasi's own mini rocket. They launched into low orbit, and it came back down. They collected the yeast, and they used this in what would consider to be a gimmicky.
But the boxes were so cool.
The box is cool. I have the box.
And it tasted like outer space, because apparently outer space smells like raspberries.
Well, they had a raspberry one, and they had variants, but one I had didn't have raspberries. But really good. I gave that one a 4.5 cap rating. And then, of course, their Velociraptor IPA, 4.5 cap. That's one of my favorites. I love that. They have the Triceratops triple IPA, I think.
Yeah.
It's too much for me, but the Velociraptor is really good. So those are my favorite beers. So Chris, I can understand that we might be sharing some favorite breweries.
Yeah, we really are, because I've had 13 beers for them, and it really always amazes me when you and I have these beer lists. And by the way, Matt, this Sea Breeze is fantastic. It's nice and citrusy, a little weedy, but man, it's for 4.9%. It is a great summer ale. But I always love when we get to see these breweries, especially when they're breweries that either I can't get here in Florida, and I grab them anytime that I'm out west, or I believe they used to distribute to Florida and then they stopped for a while. But some of the beers, I think the last beer that I checked in from Ninkasi when I was living in Las Vegas for that month back in 2018, and their Prismatic was one of the beers that I got, which I loved.
Yeah, that's a good beer.
It was a 4.5 cap rating for that beer. And I remember that one specifically going, man, I hope I can get some more of this once, when I come back, because it's always such a great beer to get. Moving on to Sierra Nevada. Okay.
I'm getting all these like I'm doing different, I'm going down the styles, or
kind of similar to what I'm drinking as far as flavor goes, except it's a little different, but very similar kind of flavors to it. But what else was on my list? There was a 2017 Ground Control, which I gave a 4.25 cap rating, I think, to it as well. And then I was scrolling down my list and I'm going, okay, well, what else is in there? Total Domination is in there. I gave a really good rating to. Otis, Vanilla Otis, Tricera hops was in there. That one I checked into in 2015. I gave it 4.25 caps and said, this one's a keeper. It's a shame they don't distribute in Ohio.
You were back in Ohio at that point.
Yeah. And then Believer, they're
the red, Imperial Red.
Yeah. So, I mean, a little bit of everything, especially for us I love seeing these breweries where I can't get the beers here and I have to travel elsewhere to get them. And then you can get them pretty regularly, and just the comparison that we have even on two different sides of the country. So let's see, 13 beers from them. And pretty good comparison as far as the beers go.
All right. Excellent. All right. Well, we shared the last one too. I have a little bit. I'll just talk about this. New Belgium. Now we all know New Belgium kind of sold out, but it's okay. Um, I'm going back. Not that I drink. Honestly, I don't drink a lot of New Belgium beers right now, and I don't drink a lot of Ninkasi beers right now. I'm going back to what my favorite beers are. That at one point these were, when the beer industry was different, these were the breweries I could get, and they were producing and sending out outside of their local area some really
Mm-hmm.
good beers. And part of the whole craft beer industry booming and becoming big and having a lot of breweries in local areas, what happens is regional breweries aren't sending as much stuff, right? They're sending only their core stuff out, and that kind of withdrew back some of my enjoyment of these breweries because I liked the special stuff they would send. But New Belgium, as part of my craft beer journey, played a big part.
Yep.
I've had 89 beers, only two 5 cap rating beers though. So interesting that I enjoy the beers, but not maybe high enough to give them 5 cap ratings. John and I do an original Fat Tire Amber Ale tasting note segment in episode 11. Chris and I do a Belgian Voodoo Ranger Juicy Haze IPA tasting in 199. So you can get a bit of John and Chris and I together tasting some of their beers. And I think for the most part, New Belgium has turned into the Voodoo Ranger brewery, as far as I'm concerned. That's what they mostly send out. Very rarely do you get some of their New Belgium like triple or Abbey ales. I mean, they do come out once in a while, but very rare you'll find them around. Uh, but let me give it a little history. I'll give you a brief history of the early history of New Belgium, and you can go to the website and you can read more about other stuff they're doing. But in 1988, after a bike trip through Belgium, co-founders Kim Jordan and Jeff Lebesch were inspired to bring Belgian brewing traditions back to their hometown of Fort Collins. In 1991, they installed brewing equipment in their Fort Collins home basement. In June that same year, they served their first 2 beers at the Colorado Brewers Festival, which were Fat Tire Amber and a Belgian double called Abbey Ale. I do enjoy Abbey Ale when it comes out. It's nice to have that double. In 1993, their Abbey Ale wins the gold medal at Great American Beer Festival under the specialty ale category. And the reason it won under the specialty ale is because back then they didn't break out Belgian styles because nobody was brewing Belgian styles in America, right? So it was under the specialty style. Now they have Belgian categories in Great American Beer Fest. And again, that's all I'm going to say right now. Go to the website if you want to find out more. But I didn't want this show to get too long with me droning on and on about a brewery that everyone knows about, at least knows of New Belgium. So my favorite beers, one of my favorite beers that was only released a short amount of time, and I don't think, maybe they brew it, maybe you can get it on site at one of their sites, I don't know, but it was Dayblazer Easygoing Ale. It was a golden ale, probably my favorite golden ale ever. Golden ale is not a style that I really enjoy that much. It tends to be too bland for me. But this golden ale was so good, I was just buying 12 packs of it and drinking it all summer long. It was just a easygoing, refreshing, crisp golden ale. I just really liked it. The first golden ale that I really appreciate, 5 cap rating. Talking about Voodoo Ranger, my other 5 cap rating beer, there's only 2, right? Dayblazer and Voodoo Ranger Imperial IPA. When they first came out with the Voodoo Ranger series, they had the Voodoo Ranger IPA. Yeah, it was okay. Then they had the Voodoo Ranger Imperial IPA. That one actually had the flavor and it just tasted better to me. And I really enjoyed Voodoo Ranger Imperial. And so I gave that a 5 cap rating. Now talking about the series of beers that were my favorite coming out of New Belgium were all their Lips of Faith bottles of beers. And I have a bunch of them up here on this. I saved all the La Folie, all the Lips of Faith. I have 20 bottles or so up there of all these different things. Blackberry barley wine, Lips of Faith, 4.25 cap rating. I love that beer. Really
exactly
good.
what I rated it too.
Yeah, yeah. I that it was really really good. And then the La Folie lips, the Flanders Old Bruin Lips of Faith, 4.25 rating for that too. Really done, really well done, foedered sours. Just love their sour stuff. I was drinking a lot of, back in the early days, I was drinking a lot of sour beers from probably the first sour brewery that I was drinking from was probably New Belgium with these Lips of Faith offerings. And now I can't find any of this stuff coming into my area. They just don't send it out. They just send Voodoo Ranger, and now they have the new fat tire, which I haven't even had a new fat tire. And sometimes Abbey, sometimes a triple, sometimes other stuff. But